In this video, I want to show you how I got a domain authority 46 link, you can see right here, for free with about 5 minutes of work. Okay, and I've been thinking and thinking and thinking. This is what's taken so long to get the next case study video out. Is like, I want to stand by what I'm saying as a coach, and that I want you guys to be anti-tools. I want to save you money, but more importantly, I want to save you time. And I think that people just want to spend all their time looking at tools and thinking about getting ready to maybe one day actually do SEO. And I want to push you guys out there and just give you nothing to do but the stuff that'll actually get you ranked, so that you'll see, wow, it's not that confusing. It's not as hard and complicated. There's not as many steps. You don't need all these bells and whistles and shiny things that some of the gurus and stuff say you do. I want you to spend more time ranking sites and less time thinking about ranking sites, because no one ever made any money by sitting around looking at tools. So that's why I'm so hard on that. Everything I do as a coach is to try to get you guys bigger results faster. And that's why I'm so anti-tools, because I used to be the guy that would sit around all day. Anyways, you've heard that spiel like 50 times. I'm not going to go over it again. So here's the thing. I don't want to look like a hypocrite, but in really driving home the ranking of this website for this case study and to be as effective as possible, I still felt like I needed some way to show you, to scientifically prove like what's a good link and what's not. And it's tough. Me just saying get links from good sites might not be clear to everyone. And I can say, well, look for things that have a lot of traffic and get shares and comments and that have been around for a long time and are updated frequently. I mean, that's a good sign right there that they're going to be strong sites. And if those sites are relevant to your niche that you're trying to rank, then those are great links. And that's really all you need to know. But I'm going to experiment with this and see if this helps. So I've tried most of the tools, they're all pretty good. I went ahead and got a free trial with Moz Pro. And you don't even need that to get this toolbar. So I installed this toolbar called Mozbar, Mozbar. And it is kind of cool. It kind of hovers up here, and every single page, every website you go to, it tells you the page authority, the domain authority. So the domain authority in this case would be for contractortalk.com, the main domain. The page authority, this is an inner page where I got my link. Obviously, every time a new page is created on the web, it starts off at 1. Even if this was, a domain authority of 100, like my press release, we can go look at that. It's probably a domain authority of like 100 on Yahoo Finance, but the page authority is probably just 1. So the key is to get a lot of high quality domains linking to you with high domain authority that are as relevant as possible, and then also try to get the page authority that the actual link is on up as well. And you can do that by pushing social shares and links to this page, and it'll go up a lot quicker when the domain. So I think by adding this tool, we're going to try it. Maybe it'll help you guys get a better feel and understanding, and it is free. Now, you get more data if you upgrade to Moz Pro, but they do have a free 30-day trial. And I'm thinking, like, maybe you guys can do that free for 30 days, install this, plus get a free trial to Moz Pro so that you can see all the data and just live and eat and breathe and sleep this stuff for 30 days until you understand this. And then by the time that 30 days is up, you probably would not need to pay for it anyways. But I'm hoping it'll help us kind of all get on the same page and kind of understand some of these things. All right. So, one of the things that I also want to do with this case study is show you alternative ways to get links, to get relevant links, to get powerful links, to get powerful plus relevant links, to get free links, to get cheap links, to get expensive links, so that everyone in every situation, little time, lots of time, little money, lots of money, in a hurry, taking your time, anywhere in between, can get a website ranked for yourself, for lead gen sites, and for clients, because that is still the biggest return. And we are not an SEO course. We are a course that teaches you how to build a business that can help you walk away from your 9 to 5 and give you all the things you want out of life and give you freedom, but security that it's going to come in month after month and it's going to be a long-term business without a bunch of ups and downs. It's just going to kind of like stack and stack and stack, and you should only go up in this business. So I got to be careful. I don't want to get back into tools or anything like that. I don't want to get too hardcore on SEO. I just want to give you some basic ideas of how to go out there and hustle and get some links. So this is one example. So first of all, if you want this tool so we can all be on the same page, just Google search Mozbar. Okay, and you can get it for Firefox or Chrome. So no matter which one you use, I'm using Firefox right now. You can get it for both. So just be in Chrome or Firefox, do a search for it, go to it. And I already have it, but depending on which browser you like, download the appropriate one. It'll automatically install it. There is no setup, and it just appeared. So it is kind of cool. And to me, like when we sell influence, we look for domains that are clean, that have not been spammed, that have a decent domain authority, like 10 or above. That's really all we're looking for. So of all the different tools and metrics, and I know Majestic has Trust Flow and Citation Flow, and SEMrush has something different, and Moz has this, you know, I think that if you can get powerful, clean domains, that's really all you should care about. So if you are going to use tools, try to pick like one favorite one and just stick with it. You shouldn't have to get 3, 4, 5 tools. You really don't need any. And after this 30 days is up, I'll probably go back to not using any. But if I do use them, I'll just use this one just to make it simple. Okay, because this will tell you so this is telling you that this is a very powerful page. And then if you had Moz Pro, you could click here and actually look at the links and verify that, okay, this page hasn't been SEO. They're not perfect anchor text links. They're branded. They're coming from high quality sites. The links are still up. You can see everything you need to know. So then you don't need to go over to another tool and look at Trust Flow and Citation Flow. And like the stuff should just be common sense. That's what I mean by you should just be able to go to a site with no tool and know that it's a good, clean, powerful, high quality site. Okay, when you're on a good site, it's obvious. And you should just know that clearly high quality sites are going to be powerful. A link from those sites is going to matter more than a link from a bad site. Okay, so this is how you would install this. Okay, and then if you wanted more data, Moz Pro, start your free 30-day trial, and you can sign up free for 30 days, and they have a lot of stuff in there. But again, be careful. There's only so much time in the day that you have to work on your business. If you're playing around with all their different bells and whistles that you get with Moz Pro, the only thing that I like is the thing called Open Site Explorer that provides all of this data we're looking at. It tracks keywords and does all this stuff. But let me pause it and log in and show you Open Site Explorer. Okay, so I'm logged in, and you can see when I log in now it gives us more data. It says, you know, this page, for example. Well, let's go back to this page that my link is on, and I'll explain how I got this link in just a little bit. So page authority 1, 0 links from 0 root domains. Root domain is contractortalk.com. Domain authority 46, okay? 1.5 million links. And then if we wanted to explore those, as long as you're logged into your free trial at Moz Pro, at any time you could click on these, and it'll open a new tab and take you to this tool. And I basically just look at inbound links. You put the URL in there, and then it'll show you domain authority, page authority, and you'll get a feel for this. And then it'll kind of tell you, they have kind of like this grade of how spammy things are. I don't take that unless this is super high. This just gives you a good indicator. How many links, total links, social shares. So, you know, it's pretty obvious this is a strong, remember 100 is the highest it would get, 1 is 0 or 1 is the lowest. So this is about 50% as strong as you could get. To put it into perspective, and this is what I want you guys, and remember to look for the www and the non-www, because sometimes those are different. But let's look at my money site. Okay, and here's the perfect case. When I look at the non-www, 2 links, 1, no spam, no links shown. If it's just discovered, it'll be under a different tab called just discovered. But if you put the www in here, this is, and then again, this is helpful, but there's also, let me point out some more reasons I don't like tools. Okay, domain authority 1, page authority 1. Okay, no links, no spam. No spam is good, but no links. 10 just discovered. So let's go to just discovered and see what they've picked up so far. Okay, so out of all the things I've shown you, all the social media accounts, the citations, the press release, and remember that press release gets syndicated at many different places. The link I just made, the link from the influence sites. And I always like to go to this root domain so you can see all of them. Otherwise, it'll kind of just be the page. So we got like an influence link. We got, remember I said I was doing blog commenting, so there's blog commenting. This is the link where this is the location of the link. This is the anchor text of the link. That was my first influence. This was one of those press releases that got syndicated. Press release on Yahoo Finance. Okay, and then more blog commenting down to and then date discovered on the right. So here's the thing, people get too caught up in tools and like, oh, blah, blah, blah. But these things are even though this is a great tool and this does definitely help, it's more helpful for older sites because like, if you looked at this, it's saying, look, this thing literally has the least amount of power you could possibly get. It's taking forever to load here. But 1 and 1. Yet I'm on bottom of page 1. And so what I always say is, these tools lag behind. I mean, this might not update for months. It might be 6 months before my domain authority actually goes to what it really is today. So, you can't live and die by what the tool says, but you can use it to get some information, and I think it will help us all get on the same page. Okay, the tool did help me know that, hey, because I was thinking about different ways to get links and I had an idea, and then I found a relevant forum that you can create a free account on, and it did help me go, hey, this would be a good link to have. A lot of the influence that we buy are only 10, 15, maybe 20 domain authority. Well, this is a 46 domain authority, plus it's free, plus you don't have to do a bunch of content, plus it's topically relevant, right? So you need a variety for sure, and this is on an inner page, whereas if you had an influence, you could do it on the home page and get most of this power, as opposed to this isn't going to get most of the power. So, I'm not saying good or bad, right or wrong. I'm just showing you the pros and cons of different types of links. In all, you want a variety. And when I recap all of my link strategy, you're going to see that, it's a variety that works best. It's not just one thing or the other. But this is a great way, and this is old school. When I say nothing's changed in 7 years, it hasn't. You know what this is? This is shit I learned back 7 years ago when I was trying to rank my personal trainer website. I realized that you need content plus links, and then I started researching what type of links can you get, and it said guest post, submit articles to ezinearticles.com, which was kind of the thing back in the day with a link back to your website, go to relevant forums, join the discussion, put a link in your bio or a link in the post if it allows it. And so this is stuff that's like 7 years old. This is nothing new, but then, manual work is only so popular and it's not sexy. So then marketers start selling what's sexy and people forget about the old proven strategies that work. Okay, even me, I haven't done this in years, but it was super easy and it was free, and this link is totally. So, okay, first of all, how did I find this? What I did was I just looked for niche relevant blogs. So I didn't figure there'd be any forum for pool deck resurfacing. That's pretty damn specific. So I looked for contractor, and I did contractor plus forums. Okay. And the first one that came up, and by the way, when you install this tool, again, yeah, it is kind of cool because you can look right here, and maybe this is why Dan recommends that tool that he does, SEO Quake. I get it now. Okay. It is kind of cool to be able to do a Google search without even clicking on a site and kind of see what you're up against. Okay, so home page 55, domain authority 46. So I knew that this would be a very powerful forum. And you go down, there's more of them. Okay, and almost all of these, you just click on. Everyone's a little bit different, but there's only so many different types of software that makes these forums. So they're all pretty similar. Once you figure out how to use one, you'll know how to use the other ones. So I just looked here, and first of all, before I wasted any time, I went to the forums and to the blogs. This is why I signed up, because I went to blogs, and I noticed that there were contractors here writing blog posts that were linking with keyword-rich anchor text out to their money site from a domain authority 46. I'm like, dude, this is like influence on steroids. This is perfect. So I was all excited to go write a blog post. Well, it turns out you have to leave so many posts in the forum, in this case it was 20, before you unlock the ability to do blog posts. But this is going to be huge. So I'm going to keep my account, I'm going to season it. And so I just went to the forum to post to start working my way towards that 20, because then once I get 20, I can come here. And by the way, here's another thing you can use on this tool. You can highlight, because one of the things too is like, yeah, they may be powerful links, but they might be no follow. So you can highlight to see no follow links or do follow links. But I did this. And so these are all follow links. Like when you leave a blog comment, it's no follow, meaning it'll help, but it's not going to help as much as if it was do follow, because it's not supposed to pass the power. Whereas follow links, do follow, followed in green here, this means that the power is passing. Okay? And I was like, dude, this is amazing. I could write a keyword rich article, link out with, pool deck repairs, my anchor text, for example, and get a super powerful link, and it doesn't cost me a dime. So I signed up, and then I found out that you had to leave 20 forum posts before you get the ability. So I'm going to work towards that. So then I went into the forum just to get a couple posts out of the way. And by the way, once I figured that out, I joined. So I clicked join for free, and then I just filled out the details. It took 2 seconds, and I created a free account. And then I logged in, and then I went to the forum. And then I looked at the different threads here, and I was like, oh, marketing and sales, perfect. So I went there, and then I was like, you know what? Let's just gamble a little bit. And the thing you got to be careful with these forums, if you're being lazy, if you're being self-promotional, if you sign up and the first thing you do is go try to sell stuff. And by the way, think about the value of this. You're in a niche. You go to a niche that's everyone here is in this niche. They're contractors trying to build their business. Okay? So not only can you get high power relevant links here that'll help you rank, but if you add value and network and connect, you could totally land clients here, right? So I was like, let's go ahead and just lead with some value. So I went to what I know, marketing and advertising, and I wrote a post called How We're Crushing It in Google, okay? And then I was like, you know what? Let's gamble. And this is what I mean by gamble. I was like, let's go ahead and just try to leave a link to my website. And by the way, this is a do follow link. So this authority is passing from a domain authority 46. And what you'll see is, even if no links come to this page, the stronger the domain, the more this page will pick up authority over time, because other pages of this website will link to this thread. And the more interaction and stuff it gets, the more likely it is. So this will increase over time. But this is a do follow link. This would be equivalent to getting an influence site with a domain authority 46, which is usually going to cost you $300, $400, $500, by the way, and setting it up and adding a link from an inner page. This would be the same thing. But actually, this might be slightly better because this is topically relevant. So you'd have to get an influence domain that you used to deal with and that you set up and rebrand with, in this case, contractor talk, which is very unlikely. So this is why it's good to have a mix, okay? And save yourself some money too. So you don't need 10, 15 influence domains. You might need 5, and then some of these other types of links that I'm going to be talking about. Okay. So I was like, screw it. I'm just going to add some value. So I wrote this up. I wrote it on a text document on my hard drive, just in case this didn't get approved. Because the thing about these forums is they have moderators, and if they think you're up to no good, if they think you're selling stuff, if they think you're being spammy, self-promotional, they will take it down. Okay, so you don't want to spend 20 minutes writing a post and then have it not get approved. So I saved it onto my desktop first, and then I uploaded it. And, I wrote my domain, I highlighted it, I clicked the link button, and I linked it over to my website. And then I just basically gave the mile-high overview of the steps to get to the top of Google Local. And then I attached a picture proving that I was indeed number 1. And then I just played it off as like, hey, kind of the, like Dan's, whatever he calls it, baboon, whatever it is, technique, where you just kind of play stupid. And like, golly gee, here I am, I'm getting all these leads, and here's what I did. Of course, it wouldn't be the internet of if know-it-alls didn't come and immediately start talking crap about you. So I gave all of this value. I gave the basic steps to get to the top of Google Maps. I proved that I was at the top. I pointed out that we're paying thousands of dollars, which is true, to get those same leads that we're now getting for free because we're number one in Maps. Proved it. And the first comment literally was a troll. So I was like, Jesus, I mean, you just can't get away from this stuff. You run Facebook ads and people troll you. You add value to people who are one of your own, you're all contractors, and they troll you. And then I just wrote back, always take the high road. Don't get into fights with people. It's not worth it. You don't want your day filled with negativity. So I just kind of like, I didn't go back at him. I just like, hey, I'm just excited, just sharing what's working for me. Sorry if you know it. But I did point out how, like, listen, knowing and doing are two different things. Or I could have just not responded. But I don't want you guys getting into fights online. It's never beneficial, okay? It'll zap your energy. It'll steal your focus. It's not good. You don't want to get into fights with trolls. You either let it go or kill them with kindness. You always try to take the high road. And it's tough. There's been times in job killing where I saw someone do something to a student and I wanted to go after them. Okay, and I asked you guys over the weekend on one of my ads, I'm like, hey, can you just help support this ad? But I said, don't say anything negative to anyone who is trolling the ad, but just share your experience. And if you'd have a positive experience, just balance it out. That's all I'm asking. So, and you may just post, make sure it gets posted and never come back, and that's okay too. And please, don't everyone go and 500 of you set up an account at this exact forum today, because it'll probably be pretty obvious, and you all go make a post and put a link to your website. When I teach you these things, it's meant so that you can rinse and repeat it in other areas, in other markets, in other cities, in other niches, right? Carpet cleaning. So that, take your carpet cleaning site and do a search for carpet cleaning plus forums, okay? And do this same thing. If everyone comes and does this exact forum, you're going to ruin it for everyone, including me. And then I'm not going to want to share with you everything that I'm doing. So don't saturate a good thing. Just go like one step over, do a brother or a sister, because there's thousands and thousands of forums. Even contractor, if you have a roofing site, for example, you don't need to come to this forum. You could search for roofing contractor plus forums, right? And find one of the other 100 ones. Look at roofing talk. And I already found this one, but let me take this off. Check this out. This is pretty good. Domain authority 30, 41. Okay, but this one's specific to just roofing. So if you have a roofing website, okay, but same thing. But look familiar? It's the exact same software. It might even be the same guys who own it. But this is a different site. This would be a great link to a roofing site. So think a little bit. Don't just go and like copy the exact spaces, because then it's gonna, like, they're probably gonna see that we're up to something. So there's a tangent. And then some guy stuck up for me, and I don't know what this guy was honestly talking about. He was either making fun of me or making fun of the other guy. I don't really care. The point is like, while these people who I don't know are not happy with their life, try to make fun of what I wrote, little do they know, I'm a millionaire, and this guy that I'm working for is going to be a millionaire with what I do to increase his business. So, you just take the high road, because you will come across this. The more you put yourself out there, the more you interact, you're going to have people talking crap, being nasty. So just be prepared for that. Go watch a motivational video, get yourself in a better mood, and just rise above it, okay? But look at this. This is a do follow link, clicks through, and it got posted. Now, a couple of best practices. You do have to be careful. Make sure it's wrapped in value if you go straight for a link to your website. Make sure you're not leaving a phone number or an email address. I actually did that. I said at the end, if you need help, because I was thinking, hell, I'll kill two birds with one stone. And if these people want me to get them to the top here, I'll sell them a local SEO package or a local citation package for $1,000. So I said, email me here. I should have known better. of course, look at the moderator was all over it. They took the email out and said that's what the thread is for. And I was like, oh yeah, good point. So they don't make these forums so that you can go and steal a bunch of business. So don't be ethical, okay? Don't, we have a lot of this in our group. People come in and they sell to our people. And there's nothing worse than that. It makes you mad when you work so hard to build the audience and you pay for traffic and you bust your butt and serve those customers and do everything you can to build the community, and then people try to go and undersell you and undercut you and backstab you. Don't steal. So I felt like I left enough value here, and because my site was the case study, I felt like I deserved a link there, and luckily I did, and they kept it up. So this took about 5-10 minutes. It was free. Do follow link from a relevant site just by searching contractor plus forum, setting up a free account, and adding some value. Now I'm gonna keep this account live. Every once in a while I'll come in here and add to the forum because I want to get 20 posts so that I can do blog posts as well. And then you can do blog posts about whatever, because maybe down the road I'll get another client who's some sort of contractor or pool deck resurfacing person, right? Then I can get them a link, and so on and so forth. All right, so forums, that's it. You know, it's old school, it's easy, it's not sexy, but then again, some of you are probably so used to hearing about all the new school, like PBN this and trust flow of that you've never even heard about old school techniques like this, and you might be really excited about something that's free, you know, that's not gonna, you're not gonna have to swipe your credit card and jump through a bunch of hoops to get. I mean, free, 5 minutes, relevant, powerful. Doesn't get any better than this. You could get links like this all day long. Okay, I could go search for more. Let's check this out. Swimming pool repair plus forum. In-ground pool construction and repair, the pool forum. Now let's use our tool here. And this is the only thing, sometimes it takes a while. And if it's ever not loading over here, you can do refresh SERP overlay and it should refresh the numbers. And there it did. Okay, domain authority 22. So this would be like, you know, an influence link. Okay, so there's a forum. Look at this, Pool Information Resource Center. 20,000 posts, 5,000 registered users, domain authority 47. This is a good one. So we might pick this over this one, or we might do both, but let's open this. Okay, now let's go in here. And let's go to, looks like you can write articles, you can share videos. Let's go to the forum. And see, you always want to kind of inspect before you go to the work of joining and stuff, because you know you want to make sure you can leave a link. So let's just look 11, 25, 15, and you want to make sure they're kind of active too. That's going to help get your stuff indexed faster. A lot of these, the last post was like a year ago. I mean, you could still try. So let's structural tile coping. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, let's check out this. You just kind of want to see if you can link out, like a lot of times in your byline, if you fill out your profile, every time you post it'll put a link to your website, so that would be good. Or if you can put a link in here, and again, if you can sign up in 5 minutes and go make a post, it's still worth it. If you can't tell for sure, just go ahead and sign up and do it and try to answer a question, add some value, and leave a link to your website and see. Otherwise, you know, it's not worth doing it if you can't get a link out to your website. But sometimes, like the other one I saw, and I saw that people were linking to their websites, I was like, okay, this is money. All right, so you know, you just go through and join a few that are high quality. Trouble-free pool, domain authority 30. This would be a good one. Sometimes you can look at the rules and they might say, you know, you can't leave a link until you have so many posts or something like that. But another one of the easiest things is just go to something that's relevant. Under construction. Okay, you could even, there's different approaches. You could join a forum like this and say that you're just, you know, just a customer, you're not the business owner, right? And I could totally make a thread here and, you know, say I just got my pool deck resurfaced or something like that, and share one of Pete's pictures from a project he just did and link to the website. Then it looks very innocent because it's like they don't think you're linking to your own website. But let's look at this pool build. Okay, we got no links to the website there. Uploaded, able to upload pictures, so that's good. And you can have a little byline. Let's see. So this person has a link to their website. Now let's see if it's no follow or do follow. Followed. Let's just see if these are links to their websites or not. Sometimes it's kind of tough to tell. Ideally, you'd want to see one with like a link out to a website in the actual post, because you know if other people can do it, unless they have a rule that you need so many posts, then you'll know that you can do it. But most of these forums act pretty much the same. Again, I think if it's as long as it's not obvious that you're just trying to link build to your website, you can usually get a link to a website in here. So just, again, be helpful, be real, be genuine. Don't come across as someone who's got something to gain or a bunch of commercial intent, and you should be able to get something submitted. Another safe step is to make a couple of posts with no links first, just so you know the moderator, because the moderator, if they're considering taking down your stuff, they'll go look at your history, right? And if you just formed and 2 seconds later you're in there, which I did and I got away with, so it is possible, but I'm just trying to educate you guys on like how the process works, because the whole point is to get your link up. So if it takes an extra 5 minutes, a couple extra posts, it's worth it to get that link. Think about what you have to do to get one link from an influence site. Buy it, set up hosting, add an about page, contact page, privacy page, you know, so this is a lot easier than that. So if you have to make 5-10 posts like this first with nothing in it, and then the 11th you come in, you just want to make it look real and like you're not up to anything. That's the main thing, because it's all about getting that link approved. And once it is, then guess what? Okay, that link that I built from that contractor forum, I can go set up an influence and link to that post. Then what you're doing is you're powering up the already powerful links. And remember I said the higher the domain authority on the root domain, the quicker that the internal page that the link is on will go up in power. Well, if you push a powerful link to an inner page like this with the page authority 1, but the domain authority is 30, 40, 50, this will go up a lot faster. And now you've got a link from a page, you know, that'll jump up to page authority, you know, 15, 20, 25, just from one link, versus if you pointed that same link to a page with a domain authority of 1, this isn't going to jump up all that high. So the reason why I'm using this free tool is because it's free and it gives us a standard to talk about these things and compare and consistency. So it's not just me saying, well, you know, general things and expecting you to understand. Okay, now we can say, look, this is why this is working, because this is a domain authority 30 and it's relevant and it's linking to my website. Okay, so that's it for this one. Okay, 2 takeaways. Okay, maybe consider using this free tool to get a feel and to kind of assess the value of different types of links. Use it hard for 30 days, and then you can still use this tool for free forever. It just won't give you like this and this, but really all you need is this and this, unless you want to look and see if the incoming links are spammy, which is kind of nice. But then going forward, you know, you can choose whether or not that if you want access to Open Site Explorer and pay, you know, whatever it is. I think it's like $99 a month or whatever. I don't know how much it is, because my thing hasn't expired yet. Okay, and then when you're trying to, like, look at this. This is my Chamber of Commerce link, and I'll get to this in another video. But you can see it's do follow, okay, and it's coming from, let's refresh this. It's coming from a domain authority 64, and it's do follow, but it's page authority 1. So if I link to this page, and over time, this will go up. Okay? So, but I kind of want to wait and see if my rankings jumped at all before I give you guys the green light on the Chamber of Commerce, because this was expensive to get. Okay, so I want to show you as many different examples as possible, and I want you guys to have this feel and know, oh man, this is totally going to work. Like, you're just going to get to a point where you know, holy crap, if I get a link from that site, it's totally going to push me to the top. It just is. All right, so install this tool at least for 30 days. Get your free account set up at Moz Pro if you want to be on the same page as me. And let's get a good understanding of SEO and how to rank, and why we want a diverse backlink profile from lots of different root domains. Because if they're all from the same root domain, it ain't going to rank you. You need a bunch of different people saying that your site is legit, not just one person. From high authority domains, and let's try to get some that are relevant as well, and that's the ultimate link. This is relevant because only Phoenix businesses can get a link from here. It's powerful and it's relevant because it's city relevant. So I do think that this is going to help. So let's install that, and then let's do a search. Try to get 2 or 3 links today from a topically relevant forum, and let me know how it goes. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.